Hey guys, and welcome back to another video, and today to take a quick look at the Beelink GT1 Mini. Now, starting with the unboxing experience, we will find the GT1 Mini inside the package, a really small unit by the way, one power adapter, a HDMI cable, remote control and a quick user guide. Now, in terms of the connectivity, we will find a USB 3.0, one USB 2.0, a micro SD card, a gigabit Ethernet connect, HDMI A, power input jack and an AV out. Now, in terms of specifications guys, this machine is running the AM Logic S905X2, 4GB of RAM and 32GB of flash storage, which might be useful for those that want to install a lot of apps. Now, I did run a few benchmarks as usual, and I'll show you guys on screen. Now, on the network side of things, we did get some really nice numbers on the Ethernet connection, as you guys can see, gigabit right over here. On the other hand, on Wi-Fi, we got a loss there. So for someone that is looking to use one of these boxes over Wi-Fi to stream movies, and I'm talking about 1080 movies, then Wi-Fi will not be the option. It will work over Ethernet, but over Wi-Fi it will struggle. So this is one of the weak points of this machine. Now, carrying on, we can see at Geekbench and Antuntune that the numbers are roughly the same that we find on other similar machines. In terms of disk speed, we also got some really nice numbers. We are talking about 98 megabytes per second on reads and 49 megabytes per second on write. And one thing that I would like to mention right over here is that Beelink is keeping and updating their machines, and the GT1 Mini, it's not an exception. I did try at least one update to fix a few bugs, and I expect that it happens in the future as well. Now, moving to the experience itself and starting with this remote control. Guys, this is one of the basic remote controls that we find on other boxes, and the experience is good, better than those infrared remotes that we find on most of the boxes, but I still believe that to get the best experience out of these machines, we will need a wireless remote. Now, what I can say is that for the basic function, we will be able to use it. It has the voice function, which works really well, by the way. It has a nice range because it's a wireless remote. It only doesn't have the air mouse function, and that's the only thing that I would like to mention, that if you want to use some kind of app that we need to mimic our gestures on screen, which sometimes it happens as we have seen in the past, then the best way still is a wireless remote with air mouse function, which this one doesn't. It has the microphone, which works really well, but for everything else we will lack that option. Now, regarding the home screen, to be honest, it is a bit boring. We have seen this in most of the boxes that we see out there, unbranded boxes and so on and so forth. So I was expecting a different home screen. Of course, we can modify with any launcher that we find on the App Store, but nonetheless, I was expecting a little bit more. Now, moving to the experience in terms of media playback, for those of you that want to use one of these devices to get a smarter TV to use for YouTube, for example, it will play up to 1080 with no problems at all. Really smooth video playback, so for YouTube, just great. The same happens for those that want to use media players like Kodi, Plex and so on and so forth. I did test it out and playing content from my network using the Ethernet connection, of course, because on Wi-Fi we have seen that it's a weak point, but using Ethernet I was able to play my 1080 Blu-ray MKV files that I've got stored on my network, and no issues. Also really smooth playback right over here. Now, the bad news are for those that want to use this machine for the Netflix experience. Now, as you guys know, and as we have discussed here on the channel, Netflix is going stronger and stronger against devices that are not licensed to reproduce Netflix content, and this one is one of those. Now, I did try two apps, one from the original Netflix website, and it did not work, and then I also installed Aptoide and downloaded the Netflix APK to see if it was compatible, and guys, at this moment it's not working. Now, I do believe that somewhere out there will be a version of this app that will work on this particular machine, and probably will find it on the Beelink website or any other website. But for those that just want a easy experience to install Netflix app and watch it, probably this is not the box that I would recommend. Great for everything else, but for Netflix, not so much. Now, moving to the gaming side of things, we will be able with this kind of hardware to run almost everything, and this will depend on the firmware, but here I found no issues. I was able to play games like Asphalt 8, Asphalt 9, Asphalt Extreme and similar games with a great experience, no issues at all. Even heavier games like Lineage 2, as you guys can see, the machine will be able to play. Now, it's not the perfect experience. We will get some drop frames here and there, but it's capable of playing those kinds of games. Unfortunately, moving to the game streaming experience using the hardware that I'm using at this moment, which is a AMD GPU, and using the Steam Link app to be able to stream from our computer on our network to this kind of device, I was not able to play. I just got a black screen right over here. I do believe that for those that have a NVIDIA GPU like we have tested in the past, probably it will work with Moonlight, but at this moment with this setup that I just mentioned, unfortunately it doesn't work. Guys, hopefully this video was helpful in some way, and if it was, don't forget that usual thumbs up. My name is Roberto George, and as always, I'll see you guys on the next one.